This is the story of Serena, a young girl who experienced something so terrifying she kept it a secret for years. Until now, Serena never intended to share her story, fearing others would dismiss her as crazy. But at 17, 2 years after the events, the terror still lingers in her mind. Let me tell you what happened that Sunday morning. It began innocently enough. Serena was home alone, finishing a school project. Her parents were at work, leaving her and Stella, her loyal Rottweiler mix, as the only inhabitants of the small house. But then, the scratching came. Soft at first, almost like nails lightly grazing the front door. Serena froze when she heard her mother's voice calling from the hallway. It couldn't be her. She wasn't due home until nightfall. Stella growled low and deep, her hackles raised. The sound of creaking floorboards echoed closer, each step deliberate, unnervingly slow. Serena's mother finally came home, irritated by her daughter's hysteria. Yet, when she opened the closet door in her bedroom, everything changed. Her face paled as she screamed for Serena and Stella to run. From within the dark closet, something shifted, a low growl followed by the glint of yellow eyes. The neighbor's face mirrored Serena's terror as she shared her own story. Years ago, she had heard scratching too, followed by the voice of her dead sister calling from another room. Her husband had confronted the presence and found those same yellow eyes beneath their bed. Whatever it wasn't human. When the police arrived, they dismissed the story until they went inside. Minutes passed, and then they returned, ashen-faced, trembling. They described a creature mimicking their deceased friend. 7 feet tall, its distorted voice a mix of familiarity and demonic horror. For half a year, the house remained quiet, but Serena and her family knew better. They'd survived, but the presence wasn't gone. It was waiting, lurking in the shadows, watching.
Carrizo Plain in Southern California, with its vast, golden expanses and tranquil beauty, had always been a sanctuary for him. On that crisp autumn evening, the plain seemed to stretch on forever, bathed in the soft, amber glow of twilight. He was there, as he often was, to capture the stillness of the landscape through his lens. Close-up of a man adjusting a camera on a tripod. His face is tense, eyes-focused but with a slight furrowed brow. The surrounding plains are eerily still. The golden light of dusk is fading, casting long shadows that merge with the darkness creeping in. Then, from the corner of his eye, a blur of movement. Something large, something swift, gliding across the plain. He squinted through the viewfinder, but the figure was too far, too fast, too unearthly. Curiosity took over. He grabbed his flashlight and ventured into the growing darkness, his footsteps the only sound breaking the oppressive silence. Every step felt heavier, as though something unseen was watching, waiting. He found the remnants of a campfire, its embers barely clinging to life. Torn clothing scattered around the fire, as though someone had fled in haste. No signs of a struggle, only a hurried, incomplete departure. He shone his flashlight across the trees and saw it deep claw marks, gouged into the bark, as though by something impossibly strong. Then, a low growl, a sound that seemed to come from everywhere, and nowhere at once. His heart raced, turning toward the sound. His flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing a pair of glowing yellow eyes. They stared back at him, cold, unblinking. Something was watching him. It emerged from the darkness, a towering, hulking creature, a wolf, but no ordinary wolf. This one stood on 2 legs, its body bristling with thick fur, eyes gleaming with a terrifying intelligence. They locked eyes, the creature assessing him, a moment suspended in time. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the creature turned and vanished into the night. His hands shook as he fumbled with his camera, trying to capture the moment, but it was too late. All that remained was the suffocating silence. He fled to his truck, glancing back every few steps, expecting those eyes to appear once more. The Carrizo Plain, once his place of peace, was now a landscape of nightmares. Even after reviewing his photos at home, nothing out of the ordinary appeared, but the memory of that night stayed with him, a haunting reminder of the unknown lurking in the dark. He never spoke of what he saw that night, but he would never forget those eyes. The Carrizo Plain, with all its serene beauty, now carried a chilling secret. Some mysteries, he realized, are better left in the dark.